administrative personnel,
Yes,
school crossing guards,
yes,
the police athletic league,
yes,
DARE,
yes,
the gun bounty,
yes,
Crime Stoppers.
yes,
You were pretty much the boss of all the people I just mentioned.
yes.
So, when you tell somebody to do something and they don't do it, what happens to them? It's not a very good thing, correct? When you give somebody a directive as their boss and they don't do it,
Objection relevance to this
They are
case.
to follow.
okay.
I'll
So you're used to people.
have some leeway, go ahead.
You're used to people following your orders and doing what you say they're supposed to do, correct?
Of course.
But specifically that night, you never gave Carl Miller a specific order, correct?
He doesn't work on
Okay. You have 4 or 5 liaison officers, right?
it. I have actually 4, yes.
Okay. And you're also familiar with the staging area that was set up that night?
Yes.
Okay. Was Glenn Garvin in that staging area? You don't know.
I don't know.
Were the people that were walking in the direction that your officers are walking in that video, were they in the staging area?
The staging area was set up in the beginning, which was right across to the west of the building of the government center. Once we started moving the demonstrators out of the area, that is no longer considered a staging area.
Now, you mentioned media identification cards, and so these people had media ID cards.
Yes, they always have cards on them that specifies what channel they represent.
You guys no longer issue media identification cards.
We haven't issued media press cards, I believe is what you're referring to for a long time.
You used to.
Over 15, 18 years ago.
Yeah, so those people that used to have those ID cards, I guess they were different than everybody else's. They had the IDs. Your specific Metro-Dade Police Department IDs.
It was way before I got to media relations, so I really wouldn't be able to tell you what they look like.
Okay. They're no longer issued, and you just testified to that.
Yes, sir.
And that's because they were being misused, correct?
I would think so. I don't know why the department, like I said, I wasn't in that unit when they were issuing them over 15 years ago, so I don't know why they ceased using them or issuing them.
Okay.
But it has happened. So I would assume, if you're asking me to make an assumption, I would assume that that's probably why.
Your Honor, can I approach?
Yes.
Give me a second, Your Honor. Give me a second. There's another deposition of Nancy Perez. I want to give to the judge. Right. You know, Your Honor, I have an extra copy of the deposition, so I'm about to refer to it to the court. It's here somewhere. I'll just have to, Your Honor, my copy
Whatever you want.
after I'm done with it. Okay. You specifically just said that you're not sure why they don't give those press passes out anymore, and you said you're not sure.
I can assume that it's because people might have been misusing them for personal reasons. That's what I would think, but that if you're asking me to positively tell you exactly why, I wasn't in that bureau back then.
Okay. You gave a deposition in this case.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I was there. There was a court order there.
Yes, sir.
And you specifically, I'm referring to page 10 of your deposition question, line 17. Line 17 to 25. Actually, before we even get there, you say you guys don't give out press passes anymore. Answer, no. Question, why is that? They are being misused by individuals because they would not be returned when they are being used as identification for inappropriate instances. You didn't say anything about assuming that. You knew the answer to that question when I asked it to you in the deposition.
You're asking me to be specific. Are you positive? No, I'm not positive. I would assume that that is what I have heard in the department, that that's why they stopped using them.
And that's because media is no different than any other individual American in terms of rights and abilities to videotape and record, correct?
Correct.
So a person with a media card doesn't have any more right to videotape the police than does a person without a media card.
Correct.
And that's why you guys discontinued them.